Hello, this is Tanya Catherine with Twin Flame Mystique 1111, and we want to talk about our experience with the coronavirus, COVID 19. Um, we want to talk about it mostly from a spiritual aspect,
Yes.
more so than, but we're going to talk about some of the symptoms as well because um, about 2 weeks ago, we were both diagnosed with COVID. So we have been at home. We were sick for probably
No week.
yeah, I guess
About
it was
a
a
week
week.
showing
Yeah.
going through an array of symptoms.
There was 3 days that were not so great days. The other days were it was mainly the fatigue, and a little shortness of breath, I guess. It wasn't that bad for me.
Mm-hmm.
And for Catherine, it was different because she has asthma. So for her, for me, it was the stress of seeing her struggling to breathe because she has asthma. So I guess that was really the only bad part for me.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to say? You want to talk about the symptoms, the physical?
Yeah, I think we need to talk about some of the symptoms because there is such an array of them, and I guess she experienced symptoms. I did. They're different. They're all different.
It's like first of all, we have always felt this coronavirus is very much energetic.
Yes.
And it's designed to affect people, different people in different ways.
Right.
And when I mean design, I'm not saying that somebody created it in a lab. I'm not saying they did. I'm not saying they didn't. I'm just saying that the whole design of things for this was much more than what it appears to be.
Exactly.
Is it a real illness? Yes. Is it energetic also? Yes. So, yeah, we want to talk more so about the energetic aspects of it and how that's the whole point. It's different things for different people.
Exactly.
It's different symptoms for different people. Some people wouldn't even, if there wasn't a test, they wouldn't even know they were sick because they're not sick. They're asymptomatic.
Right.
And then you have some people that have very mild symptoms, and then some people unfortunately don't survive.
Right.
So it's so crazy. The span of things.
Yeah, it is, especially with the symptoms.
How broad, by now they have like every symptom pretty much known to man is listed for symptoms on the coronavirus.
Exactly.
It seems like it could be anything. It could be anything.
Yeah.
It could be nothing.
I call it an energetic flu.
And I would have to agree with that because, well, for us, the symptom, they would come,
and then they would go,
and they wouldn't last very long. Like not even a day, and they would go. Like I didn't have a cough. Catherine had a cough, and with the asthma that lasted for a little bit. There was the headache. That was the one thing.
Oh my goodness!
It lasted for a good couple of days for me.
The COVID headache.
Yeah,
it's like 3 days of having a stroke feeling headache.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was terrible.
Right, and but I think we started with, we noticed that Tanya had this huge welted rash on the side, a whole entire side of her abdomen, and then I was having it on my forearms, right? And then the next day we were, sneezy. We were feeling like seasonal allergies and all. And then on that third day, I started to not being able to eat with silverware. I was tasting something metallic, and right there, like, hey, we got to go get tested. There's something going on.
Yeah, and I had been exposed at work, so I knew that I had been exposed. And as soon as I was given this information, I went to get a test the next day. You know, and it was actually about that same time that we started feeling the symptoms
Right.
to begin with. But
Right.
so fortunately though, you know, I did find out that I was exposed. I was able to get tested quickly, and the test results haven't even come back yet. I mean, those are pretty much irrelevant, you know, the actual test results, because we know.
Yeah. As you go and you get tested, okay, and this is what the ER doctor told me, is that they don't have confidence in any negative tests. He said they don't believe in a negative test. If you are having symptoms, you are positive. You're positive. And at least to the ER where we went, and so right away they started us on a regimen of, you know, I call it the COVID special.
They gave you the COVID special.
That's right.
They actually gave me 2 little prescriptions, you know,
Right.
because I don't have asthma, so I didn't have that particular problem,
Yeah.
thankfully. But you know, and what are the symptoms? You know, they say, you know, if you have the symptoms, what are the symptoms? Everything.
Yes, basically, that was on their
Everything.
list. And the asthma part, where it gets you, is if you have asthma, if you've ever experienced it or experienced someone, you know, close to you that has it, you know, when whatever triggers the asthma, and then we're coughing and coughing. We have or we're not coughing, but we're very wheezy. And we have this congested type, you know, sound to us, and the pressure in the chest. Yeah, I was coughing, you know, that as one of the symptoms at the very
Yeah.
beginning, but it was just a little dry cough, just a little dry cough.
Yeah.
Not an asthma cough. So, being in the ER, I was having the pressure, but I did have that asthma pressure on the chest. And I had that for about 4 or 5 days maybe after, but that day, the pressure was different for me. It wasn't your usual asthma pressure. And then they said, the doctor, ER doctor, said that pressure was how it was getting people into the respirators. Is with COVID, you're feeling the pressure and no movement.
It just sits there.
It just congeals in there. There's no movement. So that is
absolutely not like a flu.
No, it is.
That is a very
That's the
unique-
part that you've got to be. That is scary. That's the scary part.
Yeah.
So right away they had to administer and give me all sorts of steroids to get that movement going, because you know, it was like an overnight pneumonia. You know, like the end of the pneumonia,
Instant,
because
yeah,
it doesn't.
like an
There's no
instant,
movement. Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, it's just an array of symptoms. But it's the fatigue. The fatigue is just. That's the worst. That's what's lingering.
That's one
what's
of
lingering.
that lingers, and that's kind of a constant.
Get
or
out.
it was for us.
Yeah, 10, 15 minutes or so, and then we're just exhausted. Like we were running for miles, just exhausted. And then it was time to nap. There was nothing else you could do.
Yeah, it was a lot of sleeping, a lot of self-care. Like right now, if you feel sick or any symptoms, like self-care is critical, because just because we're light workers and we're twin flames, you know, we're protected, yes, but we're not immune to everything going on around us.
And this is where it's an energy bug.
Absolutely.
This is an ascension symptom.
It's because it's an ascension tool, maybe you could call it.
Ascension
It's
tool.
part of the event. It's part of the Great
The
Awakening. And it's so multifaceted
Yes.
on every level. You know, if you just look at it scientifically,
Yes.
it is just so multifaceted.
Right.
And, you know, the way it's mutating and everything else.
Right.
And then energetically, spiritually, it is so multifaceted. I mean, it's the same. You know, it just goes in a million different directions at once. So,
Right.
you know, for the Great Awakening part of it, it means different things to different people. Just like we said, for the awakened,
Yes.
you know, let's talk about what it meant for me. For me, I was in a karmic job that I knew I needed to get out of, that I had known for a while I needed to get out of. And I didn't, because, you know, I had this false sense of security and stability from this karmic job that, you know, the universe was trying to push me out of.
Right.
And, you know, what happens when you continually disregard spirit? You get a tower moment.
Well, you have a tower moment.
And it was a
yeah,
tower
you're going
moment.
to meet some resistance.
You know.
The resisting that you've been giving, taking a leap of faith. Yeah.
You know, and there's a little more to it than that, but I think that's all that's necessary at this point
Right.
to talk about. But,
Right.
so tower moment, and I was pushed out of the karmic job.
Yeah.
And it also, at the same time, it put us home, quarantine, and together all the time without having to go to work or, you know, or do this or do that. We can completely concentrate on our
Right.
business, which is what we were supposed to be doing
Right.
in the first place.
Absolutely.
So what the coronavirus meant to me was a catalyst for growth, just like so many other things are catalysts for growth, like, you know, the soulmates, the karmics are catalysts for growth.
Yes.
The coronavirus is a catalyst for growth
Yes.
for individuals,
Right.
for communities,
Yes,
for
ma'am.
countries,
For governments.
for governments, for health systems.
For every.
It's like, you know, it is like bam, everything at once. The collective is going through the dark night of the soul.
That's right.
The collective is starting to wake up.
Yes, they are.
The governments and the financial systems are starting to collapse.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah. It's a shakedown.
it is the biggest catalyst for growth ever.
Right. Right. Yep. And
And not all souls, you know,
are meant to awaken this
not
time
all
around.
not all souls are meant to awaken, and you know, some have chosen to take their exit at this time.
Yeah. Yeah. And
It is what it is.
It is what it is. It's evolving. We are constantly evolving. Life is always evolving. And life has to always find a way to evolve as well. And whenever we are ignoring that call, then guess what? A pandemic will do it.
Sure will.
Yeah.
So, and I guess to go back to the actual symptoms for a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, I know some people, stories are starting to come out about people that were in a medically induced coma,
Right.
you know, for over 30 days, and they're
Yeah.
coming back and they're saying, you know what?
Yeah.
I did a lot of stuff while I was in that medically
In that
induced
coma.
you know. They're having maybe a near-death experience.
Right.
Absolutely astral traveling.
Yeah. Out of body experience.
You know, a come to Jesus meeting
Thank you.
with Jesus Christ.
Thank you.
The Jesus Christ.
Right. And this is the awakening.
This is the event. This is the awakening.
Yes. Yes.
You know, and not to make light of
No.
the loss of life is horrible.
It's
sad. It's tragic.
It is.
You know, but there is a greater purpose, like there is a greater purpose to everything that happens in our lives.
Right. There's a balance.
You know, there's a balance. There's tragedy and there's triumph. You know, always.
Always. Absolutely. Absolutely. And how you come out of this is how you perceive it.
You know, and the fear of this thing, you know, it's what I wrote this a couple of days ago. You know, coronavirus, it's probably not going to kill you. But if you allow it, the fear of it
Just the fear
will kill you.
Right.
Just the fear of it.
Because that's
You know.
right. The energy of it is to the 3D mentality is fear, and to the 5D is enlightenment.
This is very true.
Mm-hmm.
So now we can talk about how we managed to work our way
Yes.
through the,
Yeah.
you know, the feeling terrible and
Oh yeah. It has. But once we were able to surrender to all the reasonings of why we came down with this, you know, and
because we went into it, you know, asking what is it that we need to learn, or what is it that we need to
Exactly.
accomplish, or, you know, what can we bring to others having had to go through
exactly.
this experience.
Exactly. And like Spirit does, Spirit is gonna sit you down when you know you've been lacking. That was our experience. During this time, we and you know, I think it falls. I think it's going with the flow of the energy that we began being on this whole COVID experience, not our, you know, that we actually contracted it, but as we started to having to be quarantined from the very beginning.
Right.
You know, when this pandemic started, the flow that we were in was, okay, already knowing, hey, look, so we know that Spirit's telling us, okay, look, now you've got some time, no distractions, right? Do something with it. So we did. We became Reiki Master. And then things loosened up with the restrictions over here in our area where we live. And then COVID just started running rampant over here. And then it came to us, and then we were physically affected and having to be under quarantine again, right? We were already in the flow of, okay, what are we learning here? What can we learn? How can we evolve through this together? And here we are again. And for us, you know, the COVID meant we had we had a few very good feeling days from the symptoms, and have we hit the ground running, and
We haven't looked back yet.
that's right, and completed the task of getting our website going live, and with our website, and you know, and that was coming after the surrender, you know, that we made of, okay, like Tanya said, what's our lesson in this? What do we need to evolve? How are we going to evolve through this? How are we going to what's the message?
Yeah.
And then the next day we woke up energetic. We woke up.
And let me just say too that we did go to the doctor early on, thankfully, and we did get the medication.
Yes.
And we did take the medication.
Yes.
But also, we used other methods as well. So,
Right.
you know, we used the traditional way, and then we used the non-traditional way. We used
Right.
Reiki.
We used Reiki.
You know, we used meditation. We used,
affirmations.
affirmations.
And high vibe eating.
Yes, absolutely. High vibe eating, and just trying to keep our vibration as high as possible in general.
Right.
Because, and let go of the fear.
Exactly.
There's always going to be fear, but as much as possible, you just let it go. Don't overthink things. Don't worry about things. Don't be scared you're going to die, because that fear is going to cause stress, and that stress is going to weaken your immune system and make you sicker.
Yeah, that's right.
And then literally from one day to the next,
we were.
It was like we were like, okay, we're done.
Phones ringing, emails are going off. We're making coffee. We're setting up appointments, and
it didn't even seem
doing
like
our blogs.
It didn't seem like it was that long. Really.
Exactly. So, what are you doing with your time?
Hopefully you're not actually sick with the corona.
Exactly.
You're just,
right.
Still not quarantining, but what was it?
The self-quarantine or actual quarantine? And
yeah, it was a quarantine, right? Is that what they called it?
The
quarantine?
home?
Yeah.
Stay in place?
Yeah, shelter in place. Whatever it was.
All right.
Yeah, the lockdown.
Yeah.
You could say.
Exactly. But what are you going to do with your time, through this evolution, remember, you're evolving. We're all evolving through this. So, a lot of people have been, people that we've been reading about and people that we've been talking to and experiencing it. As we evolve, it's a shift in our perception, and then you move on up from there. So people are changing jobs.
A lot of people are being forced to change jobs, me included.
Right, yeah. Of what they perceive as to be the norm.
So, actually, I don't even know why, but I pulled an oracle card right now from the Archangel Michael deck, and it says, decide to be happy now. So, that's how you have to look at life right now.
That's right.
There is a lot of horrible, things going on in the world right now. But we still have to keep our vibration high. Because that's how we will be able to transcend all these horrible things that are happening in the world. Is by raising the vibration. Ours and of those around us.
That's right.
Do you have anything else?
No, that's basically it.
That's our experience so far.
And we'll have to.
If the symptoms do happen to come back, because we've been hearing that too for some, that
and I feel
they linger or they go away for a while and come back. So if that happens, we'll make sure and do an update video and
to let you know
how we're traversing that part of the the Rona journey.
The Rona journey. Absolutely. Oh, goodness.
All right, so thank you guys, and we will talk to you again soon.
Thank you.